Welcome to another episode of Searching for MacGuffin with your host, George.
Gabe.
And Link.
Every time.
I love doing that.
And actually, you're back. It's been we had you in the studio for a few weeks. Now it feels like you're just always here because
Our number one fan comes down from. Have you stated where you live?
I live in Tennessee.
Okay, all the way from Tennessee.
Yeah, Florida's a free state, and so is Tennessee. So I just travel between free states here.
Wait,
in
does
the
that
United
mean
States.
does that mean the transportation is free? Like you can
No.
It's a Tom Cruise reference.
Oh.
Someone will get that one day.
Yeah. I thought that was McConaughey.
Our he would say something like
Yeah.
that. Our number one fan and my
Your
media arch nemesis.
Oh yeah, apparently we're gonna get to it.
It's great.
Yeah,
I love having Sock on because we
'Cause that
we
makes sense.
we
That makes
agree
sense.
and we disagree.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that it brings like a much needed diverse perspective to the show because we tend to like agree, and then someone out there really wants us to disagree, and hopefully one day they'll be free and they'll be able to listen to all these episodes. So
DE&I is very important. This is why I'm here.
Conflict is important.
and much like that existential crisis. Today we're gonna talk about. I'm just gonna get right to it because the last couple times we've had you in the studio, we go long. So we're gonna try real hard to like
She
stick
said.
to the format. You guys like Star Wars?
Love it. Love it.
Yeah. It's cool.
Okay. We talk about Star Wars. I was thinking we talk about Star Wars a lot on the show,
It's a fun little hobby.
but then when we thought, hey, maybe it's time to circle back on that, I realized it's been over a year since we've talked about Star Wars in any real in depth. My thought conscience, that's not a thing, but my thought conscience was like, oh, we can't keep talking about Star Wars all the time, but we've been in kind of a lull where
Yeah.
there's not really a lot going on in the
Because
world.
I feel like we were talking a lot about Star Wars.
Why do you think that was?
Because I mean, we love Star Wars,
Yeah.
and I think that like it was hot because there was a bunch of stuff coming out,
Right.
Yeah, they were throwing content at us like left and right.
and I
Right.
think that I mean we'll talk about it, but there were a lot of misses.
A lot of flops.
yeah.
but
Or
No, not that one.
crazy. But
No,
I
we
think
were thinking more like The Acolyte.
you love that one, don't you?
You liked it, did you?
I can already tell you loved it.
Yeah,
Did
you
you
were
even
like,
watch it?
I needed more like witches, not Andorian witches. I need like a whole new sect of witches, and I need them to birth a child through the Force.
I need Plagueis, midichlorians.
Do you even know that's
twins?
Yeah. Oh, Plagueis appears.
Yeah.
I have no idea who that is.
Yeah. You don't know who Darth Plagueis is?
No, I do not.
Oh, can you unpack that for us, Gabe?
Who Darth Plagueis is?
Yeah. Do you know that? Oh, you don't know the? Please give him the
The
line.
tale, the tragedy of Darth Plagueis the Wise.
What? Is this for real?
There's that scene in
Yeah,
Revenge of the Sith.
That's a line from Revenge of the Sith.
where Palpatine and Anakin are at the opera.
Okay.
And they're just chilling and
Vaguely.
talking.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, it's coming back.
Oh wait, vaguely. You don't memorize like the scripts for
No.
Star Wars Episode 3: Revenge of the Sith?
No.
Which I think that's most people nowadays.
Yeah.
Great
Probably
movie,
like
though.
under 30.
I don't.
probably.
Yeah, I don't know if you know. Like kids love this movie. Like Revenge of the Sith is like.
Really?
Yeah, like this. Like younger generations, like their favorite Star Wars movie.
They will fight
Okay.
people to.
Yeah.
Which it's Star Wars.
because they were like growing up and like, I don't know. How old would you? What year was that?
Well,
What year was 3?
Yeah.
5?
Yeah.
And I was
2005?
like 14.
Yeah.
maybe.
So yeah. So, how old would somebody need to be just to even be around that time? You have to be like 20.
Yeah.
You have to be one. You have to be like 20.
No.
So I don't know. I guess these kids are just like receiving the whole trilogy, and that's like the pinnacle.
Sure.
Of,
I mean,
I don't know how they
I
make
mean,
it past
it's the
episode 1.
It's
but
the graphics, the action,
Yeah.
Darth Maul, lightsabers.
the fall of Darth Vader. They're like
Darth Maul's in that movie?
in the first one. No,
Oh,
just-
okay. You're talking about Phantom Menace.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Great movie, too.
yeah. What? I'm sorry.
It's all
Now
Star
that's a
Wars.
joke, right?
It's all Star Wars.
Okay.
It's all.
It's a joke.
I think we've
No,
talked.
Darth Maul was great, right? Darth
Well,
Maul-
yeah,
Yeah,
the
Darth
last
Maul's
20
amazing.
minutes of that movie is the best part. The only part that you should watch.
Well,
You
I
didn't
don't.
like when they were swimming around with the rebreathers in their face, or like
Ooh.
the
There's
Force
always a
giving
bigger
them,
fish.
Like, flash powers, and they're running down the corridor.
Yeah,
at
what was it?
lightning
And
speed.
nobody talks about it ever again,
Yeah.
right? Like,
What a waste of Liam Neeson, bro.
yeah. Jeez, but we're not here to look at the past. I think. Well, actually, I think we are.
It is
but
the past,
Well,
but
in
it's the
microcosm-
present that we live in
In
now.
the microcosm, this is exactly what you're doing, right? You're like picking and choosing which part of the franchise you want to focus on.
Yeah.
That's what you definitely have to do nowadays with so many different offerings. So the Acolytes doesn't work out, but you might get excited for the next offering, which is what? The Mandalorian movie?
yeah,
Right?
which you just found out about moments
I
ago.
did not know.
Were you, at first, I felt like you were disappointed to hear that there was no more TV show.
Yeah, no more TV show. It was a great series. The first season is like one of the heights, right? It's right up there with Return of the Jedi. It's right up there with Shadows of the Empire.
That's
A lot
high
of it-
praise.
Yeah, no, it was great.
I mean, that first season is like
Oh,
I
it's
I remember texting George. I was just like, this is everything we dreamed of.
I feel like
right?
we were living in the future.
It
Like,
actually made Star Wars exciting again.
yeah,
After, like you said, there's like a round of flops, and then people
Mhm.
were like, or maybe not. Maybe 2020 something Star Wars isn't for me anymore. And then Mando comes around. And
yeah. I think we've all had that moment, right, where we're like, oh, maybe Star Wars isn't for me
Right.
anymore. Yeah,
Yeah.
But then,
But then Mando comes, and season one's fantastic, and it takes you back to that sci-fi western focus, and it is lights out dynamic. You see all these characters, and it's just a super fun ride.
Yeah, and I think that around the time that Mando came out, we were still reeling from the tragedy that was the Rise of Skywalker and the Skywalker saga ending.
does that happen simultaneously with?
Mando releases November of 2019. Actually, no, before. So it was a month before.
It was still happening.
Yeah,
'Cause
yeah.
I remember like Rey heals someone, right? She gets healing powers in Rise of Skywalker,
Yeah.
and then like Yoda heals someone like a week apart, and that's where I was like, "Oh, is this connected?" It never really was.
Grogu.
Yeah, Grogu. Right. Oh, I'm sorry, I said Yoda. Well, at the time we only knew him as Baby Yoda.
Baby Yoda.
Yeah,
Right.
but yes, the child. Like, so there was like healing in Star Wars like simultaneously, and I remember just juxtaposing those two moments. Like, this sucks, and oh, this is intriguing. It's the exact same thing, but just the context of it.
No. You're right. Anything that Rey does sucks. I mean, that is just such a miss.
What about her fall to the dark side in that one brief dream sequence, and then they move on? Yeah, that's not
I don't
an
even remember
engaging
that.
story.
Bruh,
arc.
that was like, I bet you they filmed the actual scenes with her, but then they just changed it when they changed this.
Yeah. What about the fact that she's the Emperor's granddaughter?
Nah, we're not gonna turn this
Okay.
episode into just
You're right. I'm sorry.
one of the worst moments of my life.
Okay. So
Wait, that was in the movie?
Wait.
Like they actually confirmed that she is the granddaughter of Emperor Palpatine?
really, you
No.
you don't remember that?
No. Amnesia, selective amnesia,
the
actually.
movie
I respect it.
Completely sucked. Like,
I
I'm,
respect
like,
it.
In and out, dozing off on my phone.
See, at least I know that I can disagree with Sog on so many different things,
No.
but we can all agree that is the worst
Yeah.
one.
I don't
Sure.
think I've ever met anyone who thinks Rise of Skywalker was like great.
Oh no,
I would love to meet somebody.
did I tell
actually
you?
that
Did I
loves
tell you
that.
my experience?
No,
What?
go ahead.
So, Star Wars is one of the things I connected with. One of my best friends is what
We're
brought us
now turning
together.
it into a Rise of Skywalker episode.
this
Continue.
This is important. It's like it was something that I bonded a lot with my friend in college and things like
I
that. We
remember
watched
this story.
Force
You mentioned it
Awakens.
before.
So I'm going on winter break. I don't fly home from Tennessee. I fly to Orlando, Florida, where my best friend lives, because we have tickets to watch The Rise of Skywalker.
Well,
the
were you
premiere.
guesting on a podcast or something? Or are you gonna fly all the way to Florida?
Not yet.
Okay.
And so, whatever, we go watch it. We're hyped. We're on the drive over. We're blasting Victory Celebration in the car, because we're hyped. Because it's like this is the end. Like this is gonna be exciting. Because I mean, me and him really loved Last Jedi, and we're like, oh, let's see what they're gonna do. Like this is the last one,
And then
and
you get horses,
we watched it.
alien horses on a Death Star.
We watched. So we watched the movie.
or on a
and
Star Destroyer.
It ends, and I looked at him, and I'm just like, well, I can't say what I said, but essentially, I said like, that sucked, right?
Yeah.
And then he was like, yeah,
Yeah.
but we were.
Yeah.
Oh,
We were
that's just
like-
the same conversation me and Socrates had over the phone after Phantom Menace.
Yeah.
We were befuddled. We were so confounded. And I tell you, I don't think I've ever it was a collective experience where me and him both sank into a deep depression. We were literally in his apartment, like on the ground, just looking up at the ceiling and be like, how does it suck? Like,
Wow.
we just went through the entire movie and like, bro, this movie's like, how did they end it like that?
Yeah.
What is and then whatever, we watched it again the next day and we got out of the movie and we're like, Bro, that wasn't that bad. Actually, that was awesome. That crap was awesome.
That's crazy.
And then I watched it for a third time, and I'm like, oh no, it sucks. It's
Yeah.
the worst one.
I remember because I saw it the first time and I was like, what is this? And then I saw it again and you saw it again. And then you guys got back to me like, oh, you know, it's actually not that bad. And I was like, no, it's worse. It's how are you saying it's not that bad?
I went through the stages of grief.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah.
I went through like denial,
Yeah.
bargaining, and then it was just
I skipped right to acceptance.
It was acceptance, and then like I've come to conclude that is the worst one.
Actually, honestly, that was a breaking point for me because I literally, to not joke about it, I didn't go through the stages of grief because I think that was like a moment to let go when you said, where I was like, I guess Star Wars just isn't for me now.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, Star Wars is Harry Potter now. Okay,
Yeah.
I guess.
I also think
the Emperor is Voldemort. That's fine.
I think you went.
guess.
I think you went through that already though
Yeah.
with the prequels. With how
Yes.
you just said that
Right.
so you had that experience, so it
Right.
wasn't something new to you.
Yeah, I had already compartmentalized.
How were you
Star
after-
Wars I love, Star Wars I hate. And I thought maybe the new trilogy would be like, we're going to get back to it. But I was like, oh, this Force Awakens was okay. I liked it. It was fun. Oh, I really like Last Jedi. Oh, I really hated Rise of Skywalker. So it was like, sometimes I'll like it. Sometimes I don't. What are you
Yeah.
going to do? It's just a movie.
Yeah, just a movie.
So, but we're not here to focus on the trauma of the past, right? We're going to look back a little bit at some of the stuff we haven't talked about. You mentioned Andor by name. Now that's a real like that's
yes,
a touch of
yes, chef. Let's go out there and say that. Yes, chef.
Heard. Heard, chef.
What is it about? You don't even like Rogue One, right?
No,
So this is a terrible pitch for a show.
Man, you know, as much as some of these movies really do suck, and I can't rewatch them. Rogue One is something I barely got through the first time,
Really?
and it was just like completely and utterly scratching my head when you have the Guardians of the Galaxy like completely showing you the opposite of what a Star Wars or a space adventure would be like, and then they just go like they actually Zack Snyder Star Wars in because it is just completely boring. It's just so
Okay.
crazy.
Okay, so what I'm getting from this, if I'm gonna pretend like this is a rational
Seriously.
argument, what I'm getting from this is that you think Star Wars should be fun. You think
Oh,
Star Wars
100%.
should be for kids. You think
Yeah.
Star Wars should be swashbuckling
It
adventures.
shouldn't be for kids. It should be for like an all ages audience.
Yeah,
right?
right. But a kid should be able to gravitate towards
100%.
it because, like you're
Yeah.
saying, Rogue One's like a little grim. Like,
Yeah.
It
what's
needs more Ewoks, is what
Yeah.
I'm hearing.
like? Okay, so it's like family friendly film that's like swashbuckling adventure, the way
course.
Lucas wanted it.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean,
But you don't
that's the way
think
it started.
you don't think Empire gets pretty grim?
It gets fun, you know, and there's consequences, but it is a fun journey to watch Han go through that chase, to watch Luke go from the snow planet to Dagobah a little bit, you know, it gets a little bit better when he gets onto Bespin. But, you know, the movie moves so well and people are saying this and that. It's completely different than what we got in Rogue One.
I mean, that is fair. I think Rogue One, one of its, I think weaknesses, it does not flow so well.
No.
It is clearly chopped up and edited.
Yep.
Yeah, it's really a tale of two movies, which I can see. I love when a movie is well structured. Don't get me wrong, but I'm also not. If a movie is interesting to me, I can forgive some of those things. So I guess that's not a deal breaker for me. What I liked about Rogue One, and I think Gabriel will probably agree with me, is that it was another look at Star Wars. It was like, let's get the Jedi stuff to the side. Let's focus on the wars of it. And like, it's a serious military thing. It's still accessible for families because it may not be super fun. Although I would argue that K2SO is like a funny character.
The
And,
robot?
Yeah, he's kind of like the comedic relief in the movie. But also, it's like, when you're a kid, sometimes you like serious movies. Like, I love Terminator 2. I probably shouldn't have been watching it. I think we've discussed that, right? But this movie's still rated PG-13, so like a kid can still watch it. It's not bright and happy. There's no dance sequences like in Return of the Jedi now. but I do think it's like, okay, cool. It's like just like a military epic. I think that's kind of cool because we had never gotten a Star Wars movie like that. That subtitle, A Star Wars Story, is like, it doesn't have to be like the Star Wars movies. It just takes place in the Star Wars universe.
I just didn't like Andor. I didn't like the girl Jen Orso. Is her name?
Yeah, well, she's
Jen
not on the
Erso?
show, so you should
Didn't
check
like
out.
her. There was a lot of characters that were just so boring to watch. Nothing in terms of the dynamicism of Han Solo and Chewbacca, or even like the action that Mando brought to the table. It just seems so dry to me. And I know they tried, right? You have the guy who's blind, and you have his friend with a big machine gun.
Yeah, I think they're pretty
tried. It just like really didn't interest me at all.
I love that space battle. Like if we're talking about action points and interest, the space battle I think is the best one.
On Scarif.
Yeah.
The
Like when the rebels decide to
the
go
fake
help.
desert planet.
When the rebels decide
Tropical
to go
planet, actually.
the island planet.
Yeah, island planet.
Yeah, they didn't like it at all.
And they come in, and I thought the camera angles on the X-wings were beautiful. I felt like I was like what it must have been like when you're watching Star Wars for the first time back then with like the technology
I
that
did get that reaction from my students at that time because it was like the first time a movie blew them away at the theater, a Star Wars movie, you know? They didn't get any of these movies, right, in the theater. So it's the first time in a long time that they get like a brand new movie, and the Vader sequence at the end is like their cherry on top. When there's like,
chops the guy in half.
Oh, that's the Darth Vader from the video games. That's the Darth Vader Unleashed, you know, that we never really get to see because he's always, because of the time period of the original films, he's always like plotting and, you know, slow moving.
It's a misstep too, in my opinion. How as cool as it looks, it's great, but you cannot have that scene and then for the next 5 years in the storyline, right? He's just like a lapdog to Moff Tarkin, not doing anything to that height of athleticism. It's just crazy to me.
I think a lot of it is atmosphere, though. To defend it, I think a lot of it is atmosphere. The saber lights up in the dark. He slowly moves through it. We know he can throw stuff. He throws stuff at Luke and Empire. You know what I mean? So it's like it's just a bunch of like rebel troopers. I think he can like. It's shot in a way where I don't think he's OP.
It wasn't crazy.
But you feel it tapping into the energy of what sometimes is an OP.
Why he's feared. I think it was great. I didn't expect it at all because I thought the movie was just going to end like that. And then the lightsaber lights up and I'm like, oh my God. I was just like, what? It was more than the cherry on top. It was above and beyond when I saw it because when I watched it, it was like, I was very skeptical going into it. I'm like, where's my my heroes, Luke or Han and Leia.
Well, Luke's on Tatooine at that point,
and
right?
then
he's buying power converters.
Oh yeah, we'll get there. Yeah. And but it was like that first time where like that's genuinely what I felt like. It was like, oh, this is what it must have been like to watch it in 77, like with how it looks. To me, I think Rogue One is the most like visually appealing Star Wars movie.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I think it's the best looking one
because it tries to tap into the original trilogy's like aesthetic, and those are like the best parts of Revenge.
There you go.
Yeah, I can't keep up with these titles.
R's, man.
Revenge of the Sith is those like final moments where it's like all of a sudden that transition from the prequel style to the original trilogy
and
style.
Even then I will love the way that they took the practical effects. That's why I love the space battle because of how it looks. And like when I look at those X-Wings, those things look real. When I look at the sequel trilogy, those things I can tell they're CGI. The way that they move, the way that they look, I'm just like, okay, it takes me out a bit. But when I look at Rogue One, I see everything. I'm like, that's real.
Yeah, Gabriel's a real stickler for that because it will be in a movie and he'll be like, "Oh, look at how that plane landed. That's not how planes land."
Because in the 2020s, like, and after like COVID and stuff with the Marvel things, and it's like it's jarring. You see that stuff, and it's like in No Way Home when Andrew Garfield catches MJ, and then he lands. Watch that scene again and look at his knees.
Yeah,
it doesn't look. It just.
Yeah,
I don't know. I've just been noticing those things more.
Making the jump like with Daredevil from just practical stunts to then like CG action in the new series. It's like,
see, I get it. It's dark, so it's like I don't have to see it that much.
Yeah, but still,
but it's there. Yeah. And so, I mean, all those things. I just Rogue One has a special place in my heart because I wasn't expecting it to be that good to me. I went with no expectations, maybe even low expectations, and then even the way that they ended, I think it was like. Carrie Fisher just passed away, and they bring her back. I know some people disagree with that choice.
Not her family, so I think that's the only thing that matters.
Yeah. So. And I thought it was great. And then everything that so when they brought Andor, it looks the same, and I'm like, this is the best looking Star Wars show, like because that was
the practical sets, the cinematography. Okay, so going back to Andor itself, if we had to sell it to you. I would recommend just pushing through. If you hate it, that's fine, but it's not a huge commitment. It's a short series, right?
Yeah, I will say the second season is a lot more action heavy.
Yeah, significantly
there's
stronger.
a lot more going on. Every episode, every episode, right?
Yeah.
Is a time jump.
No. It's every set of 3 because
Three episodes.
They would drop 3 episodes a week, so it was almost
That's
like a movie, and then the next one is a time jump. So it's almost
it's like a year later after.
yeah. They're all about a year apart, so it's like the second season is almost like a trilogy of films in 3 episode blocks.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, it is actually wonderful. It's great espionage. Yeah, it's serious. I wouldn't say it's dark. That Snyder parallel was
Crazy.
yeah, that was
No, I
crazy.
was talking about, like, to me, Snyder
Wow.
is a boring guy. Like, he likes
Yeah.
to like slow things down to like a crawl.
Yeah, literally
sometimes.
to a like.
Well, yeah, because half of his movies are slow motion.
yeah, half of the movie is in slow motion, but
No,
That's
that
why
was- that was
Snyder
a
cuts
metaphor.
4 hours long.
yeah, yeah. If you play it on like 2 times speed, you understand everything, and you're out in 2 hours.
Oh,
and
wow,
change.
it's a normal movie. Finally.
Yeah. But Andor, we have not done an episode on Andor, and I don't know if we'll circle back to it, Gabe.
We have to.
Yeah, because we decided that it would be like an 8-part series because we loved Andor season 2 so much. I think our first episode on season 1 was the Andalorian, and we kind of talked about it and Mando. But
Mando crosses over into the series?
no, we just named it that because we
Oh,
talked
okay.
about both series.
No.
But no, because they're so much apart. Like Andor's
Yeah.
before the
Right,
trilogy, and
right.
and Mando's after the trilogy.
Right.
I think Andor season 1 is strong. I think it's very good. I think it's up there with Mando season 1. I think that season 2 of Andor blows everything out of the water.
Andor season 2 is some of my favorite TV ever.
I think it's on the list for my favorite shows.
shows.
All right,
yeah.
you're selling it to me, man. I'll check it out. I'll
Yeah.
commit
Hate
to
it.
3
I
episodes.
personally think it's worth it. Even if you thought one was boring.
Yeah.
I love that era. I love that style. I love the way that they shoot it. I just love how they do that.
So
But
you're
I could
watching a
say
Star Wars movie and you're like, I'm a fan of the way this scene is shot. Really? You're watching that for that?
I think Rogue One changed my perspective on that.
I do, yeah. I mean, I think Empire, for example, I think Empire is brilliantly shot. I think,
Bro, the duel with Luke, bro.
I think Irvin Kushner's directing is a significant upgrade. I'm sorry, Georgie, wherever you are. I know you're not listening. Well, I think his directing is better than George Lucas. I think it's
I mean, it's the best Star Wars movie.
yeah, and I think George being able to focus on the script. Yeah, I think it's. I mean, it's
Empire's
perfect.
the best Star Wars movie?
I think Empire's
Yeah?
the best.
The
Star Wars
best
movie.
still?
Object-
It's right
objectively,
there,
I think
there,
it's the
not-
best.
Not Rogue One for you?
No.
No, objectively, I think it's the best.
Oh, if Link was here, he'd
My
say Rogue
favorite
One.
is probably Return, though.
Yeah, so that's why he's not on the show.
Okay.
Yeah, but that would be sacrilege. But
Do you
yeah,
think
Empire.
there's a potential for something dethroning Empire? It has to be, right? There's always
always-
I mean,
Yeah.
you always want to say there's always a chance, there's
Yeah.
always the possibility, but do I believe that will happen? Probably not.
Here's the thing for me, you have to, it's very rare, and it does happen, but it's very rare that something jumps to the top because you have to pass the test of time. And Empire and the original trilogy period has such a huge head start on everything else.
Yeah.
The other part of it is that almost everything that's good now is because it's derivative, not in a bad way, but it's dependent on the original trilogy.
Right.
Andor's great because it's the story that gets us to Rogue One. That's the story that gets us to A New Hope, and that's all that matters. That's why the story is interesting. And it's like, if you make a sequel now, it's probably going to lean, even if it moves in another direction, on the Skywalker saga or Mandalorian. Mandalorian fits the tone, but it tells us stories about, we wanted to know more about Boba Fett, right? So we wanted to know more about Mandalorians, and it kind of takes us in that direction. It's like, we always wanted a bounty hunter series. So it's everything we love about Star Wars because of the original movie. So it's hard to beat, the pinnacle of that.
Did we get that Bounty Hunter series, or was that a flop too? Because Boba Fett for like 3 episodes being like jailed by Tusken Raiders.
Yeah, and
Was that what we
he's like a
wanted?
diplomat. He's walking
Well-
around with his helmet in his hand.
Well, the first season, I think we got that with the first season of Mandalorian.
Yeah.
And then we got
So we got
the
the
Book of
real
Boba
real
Fett.
Boba Fett.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
the show was the Mando.
because even in his own show, it stopped really being a bounty hunter.
yeah,
that's right.
Din Djarin.
Din Djarin.
Din Djarin.
Din
I had a
Djarin.
student whose name was almost exactly that.
Oh wow.
It was Des Jardins, but it was yeah. Anyways, so Din Djarin, I can't pronounce it. He was the Boba Fett that we always because
Yeah.
the thing is because of the prequels, we lost the mystique of Boba Fett.
Right.
We know who he is. He's a little kid. He's a clone. He's you know what I mean. So we got that mystique back with Mando because we're like we don't know anything about him. That's why Boba Fett was cool.
Yeah.
So then they tried to do it with Boba Fett. And it was like, oh, but we already know who you are. And apparently you're like the last samurai now. You fall in love with Tusken Raiders. You adopt their culture. This is kind of a weird story. So it could have worked. It could have worked.
100%. It
Yeah,
could have worked.
yeah.
They could have Shot it better, maybe.
Yeah, maybe not. I'm sorry. I actually like Robert Rodriguez.
Maybe cut the millennial Star Wars people on mopeds.
Yeah. or that they do it.
The
They,
turn that kid does.
yeah, they do a twist before they
Oh my
shoot a
God.
laser beam.
I'm remembering all this crap now.
Yeah.
And then he rides a Rancor.
Yeah, Rise of Rancor. It's
So
awesome.
yeah, so going back to Mando, no longer a show, now a movie. What are your initial thoughts on that?
You know, I mentioned it a few minutes ago. The potential to reach the heights of Star Wars is there, and I hope these guys try their best, because that is just for my benefit. My kids are also fans of Star Wars. You guys are fans of Star Wars. You have extended family that are fans of Star Wars, so we wish them the best. I hope they succeed in making the best Star Wars movie.
Yeah, sometimes I just adopt kids so that I can show
So you
them
can
Star
show
Wars,
them.
and then I just throw them to the woods. Like I catch and release and create a great new
choose
Star
what
Wars
you want to
fans.
watch.
Oh, you saw the trailer, Gabriel.
Yeah.
What were your initial thoughts?
It looks like another season of the show.
Is that good or bad?
I just gotta watch it. I think when I watched the trailer, I was like, oh, it looks like it's coming out.
Did
on
they have the
TV.
little Mando rift at any point in the trailer?
The Rift?
Yeah,
Oh, the
the-
Rift? Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
Of course, they had to. Yeah.
No. Yeah.
What did you think about? I was explaining to him that the title card and the theatrical poster is kind of trying to channel a Errol Flynn swashbuckling 1950s Temple of Doom esque.
Yeah, it reminds me of
Vibe.
Indiana Jones.
Yeah. What do you think about that approach?
I think at first I was like, do I like this? But now that I've saw it again, I'm like, okay, it's kind of growing on me. The only thing is, I think again, we go back to it, it's the way that it looks. Like, it just looks like, I don't think it got the movie treatment. Or maybe just they're so used to shooting it how they shoot
Right.
like the TV show, which is fine.
In their defense, I think the show is just so cinematic. You know, like it
Yeah,
looks
it
like a
was.
Star
It
Wars
was.
movie.
I will
Like,
say it
how-
definitely
how
elevated
are you
that.
gonna make it look better?
Yeah.
Make it look like Rogue One. Nah, I kid.
I don't think. What's his name? The director.
Who? Oh, Tony
Yeah, what's his full name?
Tony Scott
No, not Tony Scott. I think
with the
Tony-
G.
Gilroy. Tony Gilroy.
Tony Gilroy.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Why did I say Tony? Oh, Tony Scott's
Tony,
the
Tony Scott. Rest
Ridley
in
Scott's
peace,
brother.
Tony Scott. Yeah, he's not around anymore, unfortunately.
It's
But-
right in front of me.
Oh yeah, Tony Gilroy. Yeah, I don't think he's available. I think he's working on something else.
I
Right
think he's done.
I think he's done with Star Wars. But the one positive that I think I got out of the trailer, which I was telling him, it kind of feels like a return to season 1's tone. Like it seems like adventures, like moving through the world, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
It doesn't look like mythos building. That's I think kind of when, not that it was bad, but season 2 and especially season 3 kind of lost sight of what the show was by trying to build up like the big bad and try to tie in with other stuff.
It just became like a Clone Wars.
Yeah.
Which, don't get me wrong, I thought the crap was awesome. Like,
Yeah.
I think it's awesome to look at as
No.
a show.
No.
The
Season 1 of
the
Mandalorian
Empire and
is
the-
awesome because there are no Jedi in it, right?
Yeah.
There
oh,
are
it's fantastic.
zero
I think it's the
Jedi.
best one. But I also think
Well, okay.
I also think it's cool to see a bunch of Mandalorians fighting the Empire with jetpacks. Like, that's just cool to look at.
Yeah.
It is cool.
It's not. It's
But
fun.
not-
It's not
but-
fun, but
but
it's like
not-
it's not up to those heights of season 1. Of course,
Yeah,
I
no.
agree.
Okay, you say no Jedi too, right? But like
Yeah.
literally in the last scene of the first episode, like we get a little Yoda
Yeah.
with force powers. So
Yeah.
it's like, how far removed is it
Right.
really?
Right.
Yeah, they tricked us like that because we're like, oh, this is such a gritty It's. I always like compare it to that Japanese series of films. What is it when Lone Wolf and Cub,
Lone Wolf and
right?
Cub, yeah.
Right, and that's what it is. Except that the Cub though literally has Jedi powers,
Right.
so
Right.
they kind of trick us into thinking of it. But I mean, the Force has been there since episode 1. I mean, it was gonna go there because we were already there. But yeah, definitely the tone of season 1. I think a return to that would be better.
So no Bo-Katan coming out of nowhere. and
Yeah.
kind of stealing time from Mando.
Side quests,
Side
right?
quests.
That's the thing.
Oh my gosh.
I felt like in season 1, well, that's not true because in season 1 it also had like the frog lady, so there were side quests. The giant ice spider.
Yeah, but he was like,
Yeah,
he's
but
a
they were
bounty
his
hunter.
side.
They were
quests,
his
yeah,
side
because that's
quests,
his
right.
job. That's his
Hired,
mission.
exactly.
Yeah.
It's like the perfect way to explore this universe that is called Star Wars via the bounty hunter, bouncing between worlds, between
That's-
jobs. I mean, it's fantastic.
It's because it's a story about him, but like once you start introducing new characters, it's like he is now just a piece in
Yeah.
the Skywalker,
Yeah, right.
the Clone Wars.
Yeah, you're right. Going back to the Skywalkers, that's
which
that's not bad. They handled it well, but they kind of sold us in doing something else.
But I mean,
Another chapter.
we had like 40 years of that. Like I
yeah,
I
Yeah.
get it, and the way that
having
they ended
Luke
it
is cool,
sucks.
but like
having Luke is. I mean, because I hate Luke Skywalker, but it's like those are awesome hype moments. But at the same time, I feel like the show suffers.
yeah,
I feel like the show suffers because it's like now it's just like, oh, Mando's like not just like he's still badass and stuff like that, but it's not about him anymore.
yeah.
Right.
And
Yeah,
you kind of feel
he
that.
plays
Yeah.
second fiddle. Yeah.
Yeah. Play second fiddle to Bo-Katan and to so many other themes.
Oh, yeah, a lot of stuff going. Jack Black. And who's the singer?
Who was Jack Black?
Jack Black is like he's like the king of that planet that where Doc Brown is like a security officer.
Oh yeah.
And then
yeah, you're right. You're right.
Yeah, and Jack
okay,
Black's who's his wife? The queen is
I forget. She's another actress. too.
I thought she was a singer.
Yeah.
Gabriel? No?
Blanks.
Really?
Yeah, I remember Jack Black now.
Okay. So anyways, okay, let's do it. Okay, because we're hitting the 30-minute mark now. So I think we've kind of set the table. Socrates had a question that he wanted to ask you, Gabriel.
So, of all the people in the Star Wars universe, why is Luke Skywalker your favorite? When in reality, he's like the worst guy. R2D2 and C3PO are infinitely more entertaining to me.
This is
to
why he's
watch
my
on the
nemesis.
screen.
He's
You know what I
evil.
mean?
He's pure evil.
Seriously.
Well-
He's cool when he's in an X-Wing doing Wedge Antilles Rogue Squadron stuff. He's cool when he's like on the Hoth base and riding the Tauntaun. He is like so boring whenever he's touching the Jedi stuff and whining to Obi-Wan.
He's like the worst Jedi, right?
Oh,
like
man.
he just sucks at being a Jedi.
I think this is why they didn't have any training scenes in like the Rey movies, because everybody knows how boring that stuff is. So like, let's not even make Rey even more boring. So we're not gonna do any training. She's just gonna be an awesome Jedi.
But also, like, how long did Luke even train for? Like a week before he ran off?
Well, Shadows is such a weird timeline.
Yeah.
You know, how long is Han really traveling from that asteroid planet?
Is
to
Han your
Bespin?
favorite character?
He is absolutely my favorite character.
It all makes sense now.
Yeah, of course it does, right?
Well,
That's why there's a Millennium Falcon right here.
So what else is it? What is it? Before Gabe answers that question, what is it? What is your gripe with Luke?
He's boring to watch when he's outside of the X-Wing. He complains. He has the worst history coming from Tatooine, like almost everything does. even Anakin comes from Tatooine. How much stuff comes from Tatooine? The first planet that the Death Star should have blown
So
up
what
is
good?
Tatooine.
What good? What good can come from Tatooine?
It's
just Nazareth.
Okay, let's before you answer, let's unpack that. Is there a reason why Vader wouldn't have blown up Tatooine? Oh, he probably doesn't even just want to acknowledge even that Tatooine exists.
Right. It's
Right.
like
He doesn't even bring it up. He doesn't talk to Moff
He-
Tarkin about it.
Yeah, because he got his
Yeah.
ass handed to him by Obi-Wan.
yeah, he force scrubbed it out of his head.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So take it away, Gabe.
Bro, Star Wars is like the original trilogy is about Luke Skywalker.
It is. It
Like
really
it's the hero's journey. Like
It
so as a
really is.
kid, that impresses me, and I think like he's the main character. He's the hero archetype. Like
100%, he is.
but like as I've grown and why I love that character even more. I think it's just because he's an idiot in the first one. Like he's a stupid, annoying farm boy,
Yeah, he is.
much like every one of us was stupid and annoying when we were kids
Yep.
and doing stupid things.
that's
And I
fair.
think that his journey throughout from Empire, still being stupid but having more power now, more responsibility, still being dumb, has to learn the lessons, has to learn repercussions, but he still puts himself in harm's way to save and help his friends. And then when we get to Return,
Yeah.
he's
Awesome.
he's now more
he is.
powerful. He's silent. He's all decked out in black, and he's cool. He's calm,
Yeah.
and he's still trying to save his friends. But now he has the knowledge, like he has the knowledge that Vader's his dad. And so, I mean, there's so many moments you can look like. He to me is like the definition of hope. But I think it's also the journey that he goes through from being inexperienced and hot-headed and impulsive and rushing, like so many of us are when we're young,
He's Russian.
to be he's Russian. Niet. He is, I don't know, like to me, like growing up, that was always, he was kind of like the symbol of hope. And I think that the main thing I think is just in return when he's fighting his dad and he's literally about to kill him, and the emperor's goading him into it. He's about to murder his father because he threatens his sister, and he decides,
it's so Greek tragedy when you put it like
he
that.
decides because that's what it is, and then
exactly what it is,
and like, and then he chooses to, in the face of the ultimate evil, to not kill his father. Like, he is able to stop himself in the fit of rage when so many other people aren't. And he that choice of throwing away the lightsaber, in my head as a kid, I'm like, what are you doing? As an adult, I grew up and I'm like, he's right. That's a Jedi. That is what it means to be a Jedi. What they're supposed to be. That is the vision, that I think Qui-Gon had, that they lose in the politics throughout the prequels, and we get all that later on.
Yeah.
But even then, in that moment, he makes a choice. To me, in my head, all the action movies in my head is the hero getting revenge, the hero killing, the hero, beating the bad guy.
Yeah.
But it's like, he decides to not do that. He literally throws away his weapon and just faces the Emperor, and like, that's his greatest strength, is the ability to not do that, to show love and compassion to his father, and to say F you to the Emperor to his face. And that is ultimately what redeems the Chosen One. As far as, like, completing the prophecy or whatever.
There is no prophecy.
It's that choice. It's that choice that he makes, and everything that he does afterwards and builds on it. And yeah, you can get super pissed off about I do get pissed off at Rise of Skywalker. The Last Jedi, where people were like, Luke would never do that. But it's like, I feel like people had these ideas and dreams after the original trilogy finished with Legends and things like that.
Yeah.
All of those like epic stories about this uber powerful Jedi Luke Skywalker and how amazing he was. And then what they got was what happens to a lot of people. I think that people make mistakes in life and have a hard time to live with that. He had to live with the guilt of contemplating murdering his nephew, Han and Leia, his kid. And it's like, he sees with his abilities, he sees what he could be. And it's just, I can't say the word, but he's basically like a space Nazi. I can say that.
I think you can say that. Yeah.
But the worst one. And then he's impulsive, and the way that he was when he was a kid, he still has that character because that's who he is. And then he says, what am I doing? No. But then even just that one split-second decision influences the rest of what happens.
Wow, he even tied it into the sequels. That's amazing.
And so I think that
he remembers what happened.
I think the version that we got of Luke was more realistic. I think that it's
agreed.
I think you can relate to it much. I relate to it much more growing up with this character. And even I think they do him justice in video games and things like that, where he's helping out in the books that he has, where he helps out members of the Empire. He's not just murdering them like some like Anakin would, or a lot of other Jedi would. And so I think that he's the Jedi. He's the guy. He is the archetype. He is, the story of the hero's journey for me.
His mediocrity inspires your mediocrity to reach the level of Jedi status, even our imperfect selves, right? Because he, like you said, he's a snot-nosed kid, just like we all were. And eventually he turns out to be something. And something is having a black glove and a cloak. And a green lightsaber that Disney refuses to acknowledge.
Really?
Bro.
Yeah, I don't know if you want really quick share your conspiracy theory.
Yeah.
People.
About the green lightsaber?
Yeah, about the green lightsaber.
Is green a color that triggers people? Or
Yeah,
something
it
stupid
has
like
to
That
be.
challenges their safe spaces.
Are you serious?
No.
Golly.
It's a sound
They
trigger.
just don't acknowledge like Luke's green lightsaber in the
Return of the
sequels.
Yeah, like you notice that it keeps getting passed down, right? It was Anakin's,
just
and then it
Anakin's
became
lightsaber.
Luke, and then Rey gets the blue one. But why does Rey get the blue one? Like, what happened to Luke's green lightsaber?
It doesn't even make sense
Well,
to
it
me.
gets destroyed in the Death Star, right? I mean, he throws it into that.
He loses
silo.
the blue one too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
He
but
loses the blue one?
He makes another one. He makes another green one.
Oh, he makes another green one.
Yeah, he has it after
In the movie somewhere? Or?
Yeah. When?
books.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but that's kind of.
Yeah.
If we're looking at just a film, he has no green, but he has no blue either. He lost a blue one
Yeah.
even longer time ago.
Yep.
And then in Force Awakens, they're like, "Oh, we'll tell you how he got it. That's a story for another time." They never,
Never
explained
happened.
it. They never. Yeah.
But even then, even when the projection hologram of Luke, I feel like it would be more triggering to see Luke with the green lightsaber, the one that he was about to murder you with.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's right. Because he did have it when he was going to kill Kylo. So in the movies, he has the green lightsaber as a Jedi.
It's just
Master.
it's Anakin's light. I just don't see it as. I guess I know it's Luke's lightsaber.
No, it's
but
Rey Skywalker's lightsaber.
Okay, I think that's
Okay.
where we end. Oh,
Yeah.
you were shaking your head. Go
Yeah, I
ahead.
was shaking my head. All of this stuff is not the reason to like Luke Skywalker.
I just said he had a black glove.
Every time Luke was on screen, I'm like, why are they not showing Han and Chewie doing awesome stuff?
Even in Return of the Jedi?
Even in Return of the Jedi, when
That's
you're
crazy.
looking at the Empire and you're looking at Vader and they're fighting, okay, cool, another lightsaber battle, fantastic. The real awesome stuff is happening outside the Death Star with the A-wings and the B-wings and the X-wings all flying around with the Super Star Destroyer. Give me 40 minutes of that stuff.
Hans.
Luke should have been on a starfighter fighting Vader with other starfighters and other TIE fighters, bro. That was such a misstep. That last
Hans-
I do agree with Sock. Starfighter Luke is cooler than Jedi
Super
Luke.
way cooler, bro, with that orange jumpsuit and the helmet, and then, bro, oh, my stabilizers and wedge, blah, blah. Way better than three guys. One of them, an old decrepit guy, laughing and cackling, which is great, right? It's great.
Yoda's great. Don't come for Yoda.
I'm talking about the Emperor.
Oh,
And then like his old dad, who is nowhere near as powerful as Rogue One status, right? He's just kind of fumbling around. Ugh! And then Luke restraining himself.
do you even
from-
like Star Wars? What's
Oh,
going on?
No, he doesn't like the he doesn't like the
I love
Jedi
Star
stuff.
Wars.
So like
Exactly.
I understand his
Exactly.
opinion of it, which
But
is,
he hates Rogue One. What?
Oh, yeah.
What a paradox.
No, because Rogue One's not as awesome as any of the other previous Star Wars stuff. So I get it, you get the battles and all that sort of stuff, but they're not
the battles
as
are cool.
fun. They're not as fun as that Death Star scene, the first one, or Return of the Jedi.
The Death Troopers. You don't think the Death Troopers are cool?
No,
All right.
no. I love the classic white troopers. Give me those guys all day long. This is why Mando was such a good show, because they had those
That is fair.
guys. And you can tell, okay, the Empire's in decline because the uniforms are not as polished.
yeah. I don't
Those
care about
people
I don't
are
care
awesome.
about I don't care about the new troopers, like the added extra
Yeah.
commando. I don't care.
No.
Really?
Yeah, no,
I don't-
Okay.
I
Well.
think they're just like a reason for them to be like, oh, these guys actually hit someone. Oh, these guys can actually shoot.
But because the Death Troopers had been, like part of the lore in other
I think-
mediums.
I
so
don't hate-
finally having them adapted on film. I think that
I don't hate them, but I'm choosing a regular stormtrooper over anything.
Okay,
And I liked the snow troopers or
Oh yeah, so
like those are
great.
cool, like the
Yeah.
sand troopers.
Socrates, you haven't really seen any Star Wars lately. What's the last Star Wars you've seen?
I think it was the last Mando stuff, right? I mean,
Okay.
so the last stuff was season 3 of Mando,
So
where you had
2023.
mentioned the ending was like a Looney Tunes episode.
Oh,
where it
yeah,
kinda just circles into the blackness.
And it's like, that's all, folks.
What
Yeah.
happens at the end?
Yeah, remember that?
Oh, the circle, yeah, the shot.
yeah.
such
so-
a weird thing to have.
That was
right?
so. It's like they were playing with the PowerPoint presentation transitions,
Yeah.
and then they're like, "Oh, we haven't done this one before."
Yeah, and then they just left it in. Yeah.
And they're like, "Oh crap!"
I think they wanted to show closure, I guess.
They're literally closing.
Yeah, they're closing. the
There's other
lens.
ways to do that.
Yeah,
bro.
yeah.
There's other ways to do that.
Yeah, but Porky Pig,
Mhm.
forged the path that I think it's worth giving an homage to. No? When you think Mando, you think,
Nah, it's truly. It was just a middle finger to Warner Brothers.
oh,
we
we can
do
do
it
it
better.
too. Oh, we do it better. Okay, that's an ending.
So that was the last thing.
That was the
But
last-
I'm
that
sure
was-
there's other stuff.
That was
coming
last
out.
year?
No, that was the last thing.
Was that last
That
year?
was 23.
No, yeah, that was
What?
a long time ago. Yeah.
2 years ago? We haven't had a Mando season in 2 years.
No.
No, Pedro Pascal is making awful movies in other places, right? So,
Oh no, let's not get started with that. Okay, Fantastic Four.
the Wonder Woman franchise he tanked, and then
My arch. Actually, he's right about that. My arch nemesis is back.
Okay. First, I want you to know that Fantastic Four came out for digital release,
okay,
and like I hovered over it, and I was like,
no,
No.
yeah, don't do it.
"Yeah, Socrates convinced me.
Yeah.
I'll wait for Disney Plus."
Because it's a Marvel movie. That thing is always going to be on
Yeah.
Disney Plus in a couple of months.
Yeah, we got Superman immediately because we're like, we don't know if Warner Brothers is gonna take it off HBO,
Right.
So, and I wanted to watch it right away.
I
watched
also
it.
think that it's just, I mean, not to get too into that, but I also think it's
no,
like,
that's what the episode.
I was super, because it's like, man, we got good DC finally.
Yeah,
It's like
Isn't that a
Marvel.
great feeling?
Marvel's just like, all right, it's always there.
it's a balance, the balance of the force.
The
It's-
the dyad.
Yeah. Okay. No, not that. Yeah,
Okay, well,
Socrates doesn't
sue
even
it
know what
out,
that
bro.
is, right?
No.
You remember what Rey and Kylo was, or they could transport little things to each other?
Yeah, they
Like,
are. They are the.
Did you
dyad.
watch Rise of Skywalker?
He fell
I did,
asleep
but
and
I
was
did
on
not-
his phone. We've
Oh,
covered this
so-
last
Can
week.
transport.
So they
things?
have a connection in
Yeah.
in Last Jedi, right? They
Okay.
can like talk. They can like
Okay,
FaceTime mentally.
Yeah,
I
they have
remember this.
Jedi.
And
FaceTime.
then in the Rise of Skywalker, like they find a way. Like she basically is about to like strike the Emperor down,
Okay.
and like raises the lightsaber behind her, and then it disappears. And then Kylo has it in his hands in a different part of the map,
fighting the Knights of Ren.
and then he fights the Knights of Ren. And
He dual wields, right?
no,
Oh, he just uses that one.
yeah,
Oh, he does the
He does the
solo
little Han
shoulder
thing.
shrug. Yeah.
Well, you know, his midichlorians are off the charts too, right?
that's
So
what it felt like. That's what that whole thing felt
Yeah.
like.
The dyad. Yeah,
Oh
they are
my
a
God,
dyad in the
bro.
Force. They're connected. Light and darkness.
What
and
were we
that's
talking about?
Marvel and DC. That's what we were
we should
talking
do
about.
like the worst parts of Star Wars, and just like rag on it.
Okay,
All episodes.
I mean,
It's gonna be Sock being Luke
Kylo.
Skywalker.
well, yeah, we won't
garbage.
We won't agree what the worst parts of Star
Yeah,
Wars
yeah,
is.
Rey is way
It's
worse.
Jar
than Luke.
Jar.
I'll say Ewok Adventure, and you'll say
Oh,
you
that
like
was great.
it. Exactly.
Yeah, bro. Everybody loves Sindel. Everybody loves Sindel and those troll things that were part of Endor somehow, living in a castle. And you have Wicket, and you have like the little speed.
Don't get me started on Wicked, bro.
Well, you hate Wicket.
I hate the character. I hate the guy who plays
Oh,
Wicked.
that's right,
I
yeah.
got beef with him.
Yeah.
F that guy.
Really?
Yeah.
Is he a midget in real life? Or did
Yeah.
they
I don't think you can
That,
use that
that
word.
wasn't
yeah.
CGI.
I think
That was real.
I
They didn't use camera angles.
I
Nah,
think-
because one day
I think
we're
they
at the-
prefer dwarves, by the way.
We're at Galactic Nights in Disney when like the sequels are coming out. Star
Yeah.
Wars is super hot. We're at Disney. There's like a nighttime event.
Mhm.
Warwick Davis is there, and we see him go through this
That's
back
his
alleyway.
name?
Yeah,
Warwick
you don't know Warwick?
Warwick
No,
Davis.
no, he's just like-
Willow,
Isaac.
bro.
He's a famous actor.
Really?
No, I mean he was in Star Wars.
He's in Star Wars, and he's been writing off of that.
yeah,
Okay.
he was also Willow. He's Willow in the movie Willow. George Lucas.
I never saw that movie.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I'm
That's
serious.
a great movie.
Allegedly.
Boring.
Probably. If
Have you
Luke's
not
in
seen?
it,
No, next you're gonna
I'm
tell
catching
me.
on. I'm getting used to. I get Socrates' taste now.
Oh, next you're gonna tell me you've never seen American Graffiti or THX 1138.
I think I've seen American Graffiti, but I saw it in high school, so I really don't remember it nowadays,
Oh.
man. Like, I remember stuff when I was like between maybe 6 and 14, and then you got a gap, and then now
'Cause of the
I'm trying
drugs?
to hang on to little things like my wife and I
'cause of the
anniversary,
Tylenol.
You know, sells it.
kids' names, that's the stuff I'm trying to like really have up here in the forefront of the frontal lobe.
You have more space available.
All this is gone, bro. It's filled with like
Scar tissue.
expanded universe information, which no longer applies. So
Yeah.
I'm SOL.
You don't want to empty the cabinets because
No.
you're like I work so hard on the file
Yeah.
folders. Like
Man, no, I gotta know that Chewbacca and Wookiees are the only people that can, reset a bowcast, not Han Solo doing it.
I mean,
in the Force Awakens.
yeah.
That's crazy.
I think even Finn did it, right? Now they shoot up a bowcaster.
I'm sure he did. They just waved the
I think
wand.
they just
and
made them
all
automatically
the
reloadable.
expanded
Yeah,
universe
'cause
went-
they're not-
They put a switch on it.
They're not even like crossbows, like in them. Like you just shoot it like a gun.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah,
That's ridiculous. A bowcaster is a bowcaster. You
Yeah.
got to reload every single.
that's
time.
what I said. I was like,
Yeah.
why is it shaped like a bow?
Right.
Wait, no, yeah, that's just a blaster. What are you talking
Make a
about?
blaster then.
The
yeah.
the Force Awakens. It's just
yeah.
a blaster.
Yeah, they're going like that.
It's,
and-
it's just
yeah,
a machine
it's
gun,
just-
pretty much. Semi-automatic.
All right.
You put a switch in that thing, you're gonna have problems.
on Nintendo Switch or
No.
okay. So I guess that sucks. Sure. What else? What have you missed?
What sucked? Oh, anyways, no, but the Warwick Davis thing. So we see
Yes.
him walking.
Oh,
We
yeah.
walk out of a restaurant. We see him walking down the alleyway,
Okay.
and we're like, Warwick, can we take a picture? And he strolls off in his little like small person scooter moped thing and flicks us off.
Oh yeah.
So
He
like
doesn't
a
walk
kid's-
anywhere.
A kid's scooter. He's like
No, it's like a
No, it's smaller than that. It's
a
like,
human
it's for
transport.
like a small. Yeah.
a human transport system.
like Mr. T and Superman. It's like a hover chair. Like
So that's what I thought it was. Okay, you don't know the story, but I don't think I've shared the story on the show about the human transport system. So there used to be a radio show, Paul and Young Ron here
Oh,
in
yeah,
Miami, yeah.
yeah, I
And I used to
remember
listen to it on the way to school all the time, and then on the way to work when I was older.
I know Young Ron retired.
Yeah,
Is
he
Paul
did.
Still on
I
the
think
radio?
he's on a radio somewhere, like with some like Y Morning Zoo. No, that's not the Y one, but he's whatever. He had a show, anyways. So I used to listen, and they used to have this commercial that they were giving away a human transport system. And like, bro, I'm like, I don't know, I'm like 15 or 16 or something, right? And I, in my mind, like couldn't wrap my mind around what a human transport system was. So I had like,
Did you pull out your iPhone and look it up automatically?
we didn't have
That's
that.
right, we didn't
Yeah,
have-
no,
we didn't have-
I had a flip phone, a
Yeah,
Razor,
yeah.
and I could play Snake on it.
Oh, Razor was fun.
Yeah. So I got it in my head that they were giving away a teleportation system.
Oh.
That this would like move you from one area to the. It's a human transport
Just have
system.
to call Paul and Young Ron.
Yeah, I called every
to
day.
beam you up.
I never won it, and it turns out that it was just one of those. What are they called? Those little scooters. That Warwick Davis. They have a Segway. A Segway.
And then we got hoverboards.
The guy just blew you off. He just went down the alleyway in the darkness and
Yeah.
disappeared.
Yeah. He flicked us off as he was going
Oh, that's
away.
great.
So I was just
no,
like,
he did not flick you off.
he flicked.
That
Yes,
is-
you were there.
What do you?
Why do you think I was so mad?
Oh, I was so tired, man. Those conventions are long.
I was so pissed. So ever since then, it's F. Warwick Davis.
Did you see him so well? Does he have like
He looks like this. You never seen this
the
guy?
wicked teeth? Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, it does.
Oh, I have seen.
yeah.
Doesn't he have a show where he has a kid that's a midget too?
I don't think they like it when you call them that.
Small,
Small person,
person.
dwarf. Yeah.
and then they have like a regular sized kid.
Yeah, there you go. There's a
Actually, no,
found this right
yeah.
there.
Wait, what's that? Actually, he had like a what? A show, movie?
Yeah, like no, it's like a show. It's like a reality show. But he also had a drama show that's like Life is Short, I think. I'm pretty sure that's what the name of the show is.
I'm not a tall person, you know what I mean? But that's pretty funny. That's pretty funny.
Life's Too Short. That's the name of his show. Look, I'm not. That's not a pun. I mean, it is a pun, but I didn't make it.
Oh, man.
He did.
Wow, great.
Yeah.
Oh
Is
shoot!
that Ricky Gervais?
Yeah, Ricky Gervais is like the producer on the show. And
Pretty
He's
funny.
a son.
yeah,
funny.
and they have like a running bit where he goes to like pitch shows for Ricky Gervais and Ricky's partner. I don't remember that other tall, the lanky British guy.
Yeah.
And that's
Is
where
that
that
the show where Liam Neeson?
where Liam Neeson has
talks
AIDS.
about AIDS?
Yeah, where he talks. He does that.
That sounds awesome. I'm
Yeah,
gonna watch
it is
that.
actually. The show's really funny, and we're gonna send you that Liam Neeson bit, and that ties into this episode because of Qui-Gon Jinn, obviously.
Wait, he's not below the Star Wars or the Skywalker line. So Skywalker line is like sucks, and then everything else under that is like really sucks. So Jar Jar Binks kind of falls in there, Rey, and then other things like that.
Well, that's one of the things you missed. Jedi
Do you
Trials.
like Star Wars?
Did I win? I
Yeah.
love Star Wars.
You just described almost everything of Star Wars, and it's under the sucks line.
No, because then you have like Han,
Okay.
Chewie, Lando, Wedge Antilles, the Rebellion, X-wings, A-wings, B-wings, Star Destroyers. You know, there's a lot that lives above. the
Okay, so just
Skywalker line.
fighter pilots,
Yeah.
and I was gonna say and Han and his friends, but they're also fighter pilots. So
Well,
I mean, I guess
Fighter
they're,
pilots.
I mean,
no, Han's a pilot.
yeah, he's like a that's a large aircraft. Yeah,
Did you
Yeah.
like Solo?
I love Solo.
really,
Yeah, really.
Okay,
I think
tell
to
us.
me that's the best Disney Star Wars movie
Okay.
that's come out.
Tell us why.
I'm glad people like
minus
you
the
exist.
minus the Mando, because Mando is just fantastic. But Star Wars Han, it's so hard to kind of capture the Harrison Ford mystique,
Mhm.
and they really tried. And I liked Han Solo by himself. I liked him meeting Chewbacca. I liked him not having the Falcon right throughout the most of it.
Yeah,
And then when he finally got the Falcon, the Maul run was great. Even though it was kind of weird that a Star Destroyer was chasing him in there, I thought that looked kind of visually off. But I really liked
need to watch
the
this movie again.
actor. Huh?
I think I need to watch this movie again.
I haven't seen it since. I only saw it one time, and I did like it a lot. I liked the guy. It was believable that was a young Han Solo. on
All
the
did no, I
screen.
think
Yeah, he
no,
did great.
we really enjoyed.
yeah,
the
we
movie.
really liked Han
Yeah.
Solo.
I really liked the whole movie. Woody Harrelson.
Did you like Woody
Woody
Harrelson?
Harrelson, sure.
Do you
Emilia
like Woody
Clarke?
Harrelson, by the way?
I do. He was fantastic in No Country for Old Men, right? That was great, Woody Harrelson. I saw him recently in like
He's
a
in No
magic
Country for Old
show. Yeah, he's
Man,
like
I need to watch that one again.
That movie's. That movie's
The
so
the
good,
Magic
man.
Show. Oh, Now You See Me.
yeah. Now you see me. He's pretty funny in there.
Zombieland.
I liked him a lot when I think we saw the second Can You See Me, and he played like a twin brother. So
Oh,
there
spoilers
was two Woody Harrelsons
for the
in
Now You
there.
See
Oh,
Me
because the
version.
bad guy's Harry Potter in that show about magicians.
That's right. That's right. The bad guy's Harry Potter.
Okay.
That's Daniel
And the good guy's
Radcliffe.
Lex Luthor. It's so weird. Such a weird movie.
Oh.
Oh, why would you?
Oh
reference
yeah.
that?
we that's
Why does Zack Snyder?
that's in my scar tissue.
Why
I
does Zack Snyder bleed into
that
everything we speak
Yeah.
about?
because he's trying to ruin everything. We love.
You said Lex Luthor, and I'm like Gene Hackman,
Kevin Spacey.
Kevin Spacey, Nicholas Hoult.
I'd pick Kevin Spacey over.
Oh,
Is my hot take.
what?
My hot take is that I'd pick Kevin Spacey over Jesse
Yeah.
Eisenberg.
That's not a hot take. I thought you were picking Eisenberg,
even
over
with the
Spacey.
allegations.
Yeah,
Okay. What?
Even with the jeez.
And is it weird that when I see Woody Harrelson, it reminds me of you? Actually,
Me?
It's like, yeah,
Me?
yeah. Do you see
Why?
that? I think it's because of the character you played in our old wrestling federation.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So somewhere in between, like your reality and then that character.
Yeah, he was great in Zombieland too.
So-
I like a lot of
Movie
movies.
is
that
so
he's in.
good, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's really good, and he was good in Solo, Star Wars.
True
Yeah.
Detective.
So the Jedi Trials. This was a what was this? A reality competition show?
If you ever watched, what was that show called back in the 90s?
Legends of the Hidden Temple.
Legends of
Great
the Hidden
show.
Temple.
They had a Star Wars theme.
Yes, Legends of the Hidden
That
Temple.
was that. That was what they tried to do.
Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't watch it, so I can't tell you if it's
Yeah,
good or
I
not.
can't tell you it's good either. Because so tell them
Because if I were to watch that on late night television like I did when I was a kid, I'd be like, this is kind of sick. But I
Wait,
honestly haven't seen
Is
it.
it like trivia? Hey, who
No, it's like
is
challenges.
the-
They do like physical challenges.
it's like
just
Jedi
it's
trials.
literally just like Legends of the Hidden Temple.
yeah, so it's like,
And they ask questions. They add trivia as well too. They
What,
ask me
like Star
questions.
Wars trivia?
Yeah.
Or is it?
It's Star Wars.
but I
stuff,
think
yeah.
it's in canon, so it's like you are a young apprentice.
Yeah, they're like
and
Padawans.
So you have to like answer questions about the Jedi trials, and yeah, so they're Padawans competing.
Okay.
Okay, so we'll tell us the story about what's his name? Ahmed Best.
Ahmad Best.
Yeah.
What was the story? That
Well, he
got?
wasn't aware of
he got
like his
reversed?
past. Yes, he got violated in reverse. No, not that.
by the fandom. Yeah, probably
Yeah. Well, yeah, actually, in a sense. So I guess that's
emotionally.
fair. Yeah. So
What, the backlash? Oh,
Yeah.
just people hate Jar Jar. So he was like bullied. He was like, this is the worst part of Star Wars. This is the worst thing ever. Made fun of.
And he was super young
ridiculed.
too, right?
Yeah, he was super young. He was like the other kid, like the little Anakin.
Yeah. Jake
And
Lloyd.
And he also had his own issues, just like substance abuse issues. And I think honestly, he might have had an attempt on his life.
No, Ahmed Best. Yeah, he was suicidal. So
Yeah.
he almost took his life. I think
Really?
he attempted to take his life.
Because
yeah.
people would see him walking around and
Yeah.
be like, "Hey, Misa, you suck."
Yeah.
Really? No
Yeah,
way.
yeah.
Good thing you
Every
weren't around
day
him.
of his life. Wow.
Yeah.
Poor guy.
Yeah, I mean, episode 1 might have ruined Jake Lloyd and Ahmed Best's
life.
Almost like
It's full stop.
almost as bad as it ruined our life. I get they had emotional problems, but they got paid for it. I didn't get paid for
the
it.
internet is forever.
Okay, I was just kidding. That was a joke. It was insensitive, and I apologize if that was a sound trigger for anyone.
Oh, what? Oh my god.
Anyway,
This is a sound trigger.
What's worse than Jake Lloyd, Anakin Skywalker on a pod racer going woohoo and all that sort of stuff.
What's
What
worse
is-
than that?
Let's keep going down.
Ru-
Let's
ruin-
find the
okay,
worst thing.
I'll
Star
tell you
Wars
one thing
ever
I think is
did.
worse: ruining the Max Rebo band number
With
in Return of the Jedi
With the longer
with the Men in Black alien.
Yeah, with-
yeah.
yeah, Men in Black. yeah.
That's worse.
So what do you think happened there? Like George Lucas is like, well, we can't really cut in an extra scene because we don't have anything really for Return of the Jedi. But what we can do is splice in this brand new show-stopping CGI routine, right? And just like completely do the aliens that we didn't have the ability to do
Yeah.
in episode 1, 2, and 3 originally, and like blow them away with, like you said, the Men in Black people that people were like, what? in
I
the
think
heck
he's
are
like,
we
this is too boring. It's not snappy and funny enough. He listened to your criticisms and he implemented it into Return of the Jedi. I think that was his
Gotcha.
solution.
Just for that one scene.
Yeah,
there.
I think he needed an excuse to revamp all of them,
Mhm.
which he already he didn't even do anything in Empire, right? He just cleaned it up, like the puppet hand for
Because it didn't need to fix.
what's the Wampa,
Okay.
right? They like digitally edit and fix it. I think he might have reanimated the Tauntaun, like its death,
Yeah.
Okay.
but it's not like a big deal. And then like some effects, but for the most part, there's no new scene. There's no new scene in Empire. So I guess he just needed something to market. I don't know.
Yeah, because the New Hope has a couple new scenes.
Yeah,
in it,
the
or
Jabba one's the big
extended
one.
ones, right?
The Jabba one's the big one.
Yeah.
That he
So
But-
we're classifying bad stuff. So
Yeah, terrible stuff.
the special edition falls under the Skywalker sucks, right? Or is
Yeah.
it better than?
Yeah. Oh, to put a pin on the time on the Jedi.
Do you want to
time
keep
trials.
using that barometer? Does that bother
Yeah.
you?
Yeah. What's the top
No,
of
it's
it?
okay.
The
Because after Rise of Skywalker, I'm inclined to agree.
Okay.
It's all bad.
yeah, the Jedi Trials thing. They put it on YouTube, and apparently, like, not a lot of people watched it.
What is that?
The Jedi Trials, the show that we're talking
It's
about.
a show with a bunch of videos.
It's a
Oh,
streaming
the-
platform where they put
No, I
like
know.
bite-sized videos.
Right,
The kids are really into
Yeah.
YouTube. I think they put this show on YouTube. Nobody watches it there, but
That's true.
YouTube used to be so great when it was less policed by whatever algorithm they've released into the internet.
that's when millennials have become the new boomers
Mhm.
because we're like, back in my day, YouTube was so great.
It was.
Yeah,
can watch
streaming
so many
services.
different videos. They had all these amazing conspiracy videos that would just like take you down a rabbit hole, and you would just be completely filthy at the end of 3 hours.
They still have those.
Yeah, but they're kind of edited, and they're not as, let's say, conspiratorial.
Okay,
in
'cause-
my opinion.
So it's like it was like kind of like you
No.
were experimenting with it because you wanted to hear something weird, and now it's just stuff.
Well, no, people get kicked off for saying certain things, so then people don't really push the boundaries as much anymore. So then you don't really have the content that's so edgy for the conspiracy theory nuts.
Interesting.
And that's
Freedom
why
of
it's
speech.
kind
So
of
just
gotten
like
a little bit boring.
boilerplate conspiracy theories, and
Yeah.
the rabbit holes don't dig
No.
deep enough.
Right.
Yeah, the ones
Okay.
with the real research and work behind it are just not.
You should get a Twitter. You should get an X account. I think that's where all the real.
That's where they've
nasty-
gone.
That's
Yeah.
where the real free speech is.
Oh, I gotta go. I gotta get one because I don't have a Twitter.
That's where the champions of free speech live,
Okay.
like Elon.
To get back to the Jedi Trials,
Bro, you're gonna love Andor.
so they put it on YouTube and nobody watched it. So they took it off YouTube for some reason because I don't know since when you take things off YouTube. So I guess I'm at best is probably really sad again, but
I
he's
don't
in a
know.
better place.
He's a black belt in Brazilian Jiu Jitsu. He's an adjunct professor at Stanford University.
Oh, and he played this character. What's his name of the Jedi that he plays?
Kelleran Beck,
Kelleran Beck. So he's the guy who saves Yoda from the temple.
Baby Yoda.
Yeah, Baby Yoda. I'm sorry. Grogu.
He saves. He's Chewie. Not
He's
Chewie.
Chewbacca. He plays no. His Jedi, Kelleran Beck, the same actor as Jar Jar. He plays the Jedi that saves Grogu from the temple so that he's not killed all those years ago. So he's in Mandalorian. It's the long and short
I remember
story.
that scene. I remember that
Yeah.
scene.
So it goes Jar Jar.
Yeah.
Where does that go? Jar Jar, the musical sequence in Return of the Jedi.
What's the
What-
worst thing in Star Wars ever?
The holiday special.
Yeah.
Okay.
The holiday specials. It's so bad, Disney won't even release it for free. Like they pulled that little Boba Fett cartoon just for historical
There's
purposes.
people listening to this don't know what that is.
Yeah.
Okay, so
that tells you right there how much scrubbing these people have done to kind
Yeah.
of keep that from the pop culture in general, and only maybe older fans. Definitely, there was a wider audience for it at some point.
I bought a
And it just-
VHS tape at a
I
convention.
saw it on a tape too.
Yeah.
and all of a sudden it's just gone.
Yeah.
And you would think it would live on YouTube, right? I'm pretty sure you can find it on YouTube.
I don't think so. I think
Nah.
they take it down. They take it down every time anybody tries to post it.
Disney just has a bot just ready to just.
Even our producer here in the room has no idea what the holiday special is.
He doesn't know what's happening right now.
Yeah, he's
You know
literally just
about-
waiting to eat 3 chefs and a chicken. Shout out 3 chefs and
the
a
Wookiee Life Day,
and a
bro.
kitchen.
And celebrating Life Days. Come on, man.
yeah. So Life Day.
Bro, that sounds like some
Okay.
stuff that happened on Naboo.
Yeah, so the synopsis is that it's Life Day
Yeah,
on the Kashyyyk, the Wookiee planet. So Chewie goes back to meet with his family, which are just a bunch of other Chewies.
Other Chewies.
Yeah, but the wife has lipstick, right? that's how you know that she's Chewbacca's wife because she wears a lipstick. And then like his daughter has a bow. This is how we identify.
Oh,
Wookiees.
man.
But also, there's no budget for it apparently, so all of the like costumes are just terrible.
Terrible.
Apparently, they didn't have available the same one that they use in the movies. I
There's
guess.
got to be a VHS or something out there.
I mean, I'm sure you can get a VHS
For
of it. You might get
$500.
sniped when you buy it, but and then what's the other thing? Oh, and Luke, I think was this between A New Hope and Empire?
It had to be right because Han was frozen in
Right, yeah, in between Empire and Return.
Return,
So because I remember that like Mark Hamill doesn't look anything like himself.
Yeah.
And as a kid, I was like, did they get a different guy? So I think it was like after the accident.
It was the
before
accident.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what the story was there, but I think it was the makeup too. Who knows? But anyways, it was just a terrible, terrible sketch, like family holiday special. I mean, it's in the title. It was atrocious. It was blasphemous. It was bad. But it did debut Boba Fett in the little cartoon.
In the little cartoon.
Yeah. So that means it was before Empire. Yeah, it had to be before Empire. Because Boba Fett's in Empire, so he's not in A New Hope. At least not yet. Now he is because they put him back in the Jabba the Hutt scene.
So that is the worst thing.
I think the holiday special is the worst thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's very low. That's very low. So what about? And let's find something bad about the original trilogy. I'm sure there's plenty of stuff that just doesn't make sense or can't
Okay, so
go.
we're just tearing apart Star Wars.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, that's pretty fun, right?
Yeah, I guess it's kind of like walking into my childhood church and urinating in
Sure.
the
I don't know.
temple. In the
But
Baptist
Socrates
temple.
just did that on my
Ewok.
view of Luke Skywalker in the
So-
previous episode.
So
So.
Ewoks are over under the line. They're definitely over the Star Wars holiday special, right?
Oh, actually, I
Ewoks.
think Gabriel likes Ewoks.
Yeah, I mean they're okay.
What?
You don't like Ewoks?
No.
But you love Return of the Jedi. It's your favorite one.
Yeah, didn't you like Wicked?
Yeah, because of the stuff with Luke.
Nah, it's because of that's true that the Ewoks were supposed to be Wookiees, right? But they wanted like to sell the teddy bears.
I think it would have been just as bad, to be honest with you.
If
If they were Wookiees?
Yeah, they like the life size or like.
but
super
Chewbacca
huge
is a
people.
life size.
I don't
Yeah,
don't
but
agree.
So many of them.
I don't
it just
agree.
would seem so ridiculous.
Wouldn't it be
So
more
many of
believable
them.
they defeat the stormtroopers though than the teddy bears?
No, because to me, the stormtroopers cannot shoot normally, right?
Right.
So they are especially less lethal against smaller objects like teddy bears.
Okay.
It's so crazy that they would miss a Wookiee.
No. I'm
being
gonna sell
super-
this on you. I'm gonna sell this to you. Okay, ready? The Wookiees pull back the bowcasters, and it
Shoot
just,
one at a time.
yeah,
And then the guys
Yeah.
are repeating blasters. Nah, it
Exactly.
Bro, I
wouldn't
see,
work.
bro, you see the Wookiee rip someone's arms off,
yeah.
It's
and
kind
then
of
you
like
see an Ewok.
The part that I don't get is when they drop stones on the
Yeah,
stormtroopers'
well,
helmets,
yeah,
and,
and
then they're knocked unconscious. What are the helmets for?
Their booby traps
Bro,
were
those stones
good
came
though.
from so high, man. You know what I mean? That's crazy. They were
Gravity
flying up
on
in the tree.
gravity on the
like
forest
that.
moon of Endor is just it hits harder.
I honestly think that the Empire does not invest in armor. They just they buy cheap
It's
polymer.
cosplay.
Yeah, and then they just the troopers think they're safe, and
They're
they're
not.
actually,
It's not the Clone Wars armor. They
Yeah.
they budget cuts.
Yeah, they're not
Budget
protected
cuts
at all.
for sure. And then you get in a microcosm the Ewok, right? So the Empire plans wide scale or large scale, but they fail at actually paying attention to the details, like this army of teddy bears that might assist the rebels, and
It's always
bring
the
up
teddy
numbers.
bears.
It's always like the
You're
little
gonna
details.
love. You're gonna love Andor,
miss
bro.
the trench and the vet ports that then lead to the torpedo blowing up the Death Star.
Yeah.
All of these things are like little details that
The devil's in the
completely
details.
What did you
ruin the Empire?
What did you think about that from Rogue One?
The
Plot.
Yeah, that
the
is.
dad
Yeah.
that puts in the weakness like that. No, I didn't like that at all.
Really?
I like the
You just want it to be bad
the
engineering.
ego of the Empire, not even thinking that a starfighter against this. Yeah, right. I don't need to do anything like that. You know what I mean? That makes so much sense to me versus the engineer. And when you working on any project, you have multiple engineers. You would have multiple reviews. So for one guy to kind of hide that in there, it just seems so crazy to me when you would have teams of these people kind of reviewing each other's work.
But that's a problem. They
Wow.
don't because it's the details. They just let this one guy do it. They were like, "Oh,
He's the only one that
But-
could.
But
That's why
but
they.
then to here is the plan, the viewport, or the exhaust port, that just seems such a crazy thing that you hide this very flimsy weakness in this Death Star, right? Like it has to hit perfectly and go down the chute, etc. And it can only be done by a starfighter. To me, that was a little bit more. That guy was crazy. He might as well have said, "I don't care about the rebellion. This is your one chance. Good luck," because it's impossible. You needed a freaking Jedi right?
No,
to do this.
no.
Wedge couldn't have done
No.
that shot.
Yes,
Han
he
couldn't
could
have done that
have.
shot.
Yes, he could have. The
No,
problem
because
is that
somebody missed it, right?
No,
they
because
had an actual pilot.
yes,
who
yes,
missed the
but
shot
the
first.
tracking system was down, and that's why he has to use his Jedi powers.
No, he turned it off.
He turns it off.
Oh,
he turns it off. So he's like,
No, the
listening
shot is 1 in a
to-
million. Like,
Yeah.
it's an impossible
It's
shot,
an
but like
impossible
these
shot.
people.
Well, but Tom Cruise did it in.
That's true.
In
Yeah.
Top Gun Maverick.
That's true.
So,
that was a Star Wars reference.
Yeah.
That was clearly a Star Wars
like
reference.
Galen Erso knew that they were gonna have a Tom Cruise, and that Tom Cruise was Luke Skywalker.
That's what it means to be free.
Yeah. So
No, it doesn't make any sense at all. Like to make that.
I guess
and
you're
then
right.
You're kind of pinning your hopes.
No, like I don't know.
you're
Like,
right. Rogue One sucks, bro.
you keep letting him do this to you.
Doesn't make sense. Really make a weakness. Really make a weakness that would be possible for.
No, but then if you make it a week, everyone's gonna see it. Like,
to me, that little exhaust. port
Nah,
is,
man,
like,
you gave him a
so
chance because
far-fetched.
either way, you can drop a bomb on it.
Yeah.
You can do something. It is a crack, is a chink in the armor. It is not an opening. It's a little crack that they have to do it. Of course, it's gonna be impossible, but he has to hide it.
yeah, and he knows that they have the capability. You just get an old man on the Death Star to bring down all the shields, and then distract Darth Vader by like clanking lightsabers.
Listen, the Force has a way of making things happen.
Yeah, that's
No,
true.
but at that time, like Obi-Wan had already left the Death Star. Like they got those shields down so they can get on the Falcon and leave.
Did you watch Obi-Wan?
I don't think I've ever
I
seen Star
did.
Wars. Now that you
I
mention
did.
it,
It was all right. It was all right.
it was bad, man.
Nah, bro.
that was,
That
that
was
terrible.
garbage.
I like
Dog
the
water.
guy. I like the guy, right? As Obi-Wan.
Oh yeah, of course.
And so I like watching him. I didn't like the Princess Leia parts,
You mean that's the whole show though? That's like
Yeah.
50% of the show.
but I liked Obi-Wan and I liked the battle between him and Anakin.
I did
Even
not
though-
like the battle
Even though I
between
thought I
him
was like,
and
this really is not the place for
Bro,
They kinda
you're talking
ruined-
about
It
boring. You're talking about boring. Boring.
the thing is
You didn't like Darth Vader in Rogue One because he was cutting people up on the roof and he's throwing.
Yeah.
he's blocking rocks.
He's like Dragon Ball Z. He's like lifting. the
Obi-Wan
entire-
is throwing rock. Avatar.
The reason why it sticks out is because the whole entire show is awful, and then that's the gems.
Oh, that's
You
the
have-
show
it
where like
elevates.
Vader holds the entire shuttle back, right?
Nah, listen. I liked the beginning of that duel. I thought I was
Yeah.
like, "Oh, this is sick." I like the way that it looks. The colors are popping. This is
Yeah.
awesome because it looks like a normal.
Yeah, but
as
then it
soon as
becomes-
he
it
like traps him in the
becomes- right.
rocks, and then he starts like,
Yeah.
I lost me.
Nah, you know what I hate? I hate that fight is meant to validate Obi-Wan's lie that
he killed him.
that Obi-Wan
Oh, the Anakin killed him.
yeah, that Anakin killed him, right? That Vader killed Anakin because Anakin's like, "Oh no, I'm dead." He basically from a certain point of view, a certain point of view is garbage. Like Obi-Wan is just gaslighting Luke and he's still making excuses. Obi-Wan is not a perfect character. He
Yeah.
is not righteous.
Right.
Well, yeah, because he's like
That show
throwing
tries to-
hands. He's throwing hands with everybody he sees. He's always killing people.
yeah. So no, and also I don't know, man. That fight was
Okay, so that's another thing.
yeah, that's
on the-
another
okay,
thing that's
good.
bad. Yeah.
And they missed the opportunity to put Qui-Gon throughout that whole show.
Oh, they could have done that, right? That would have been way better.
Yeah.
Like
I think-
Neeson
I think it would have been
McGregor.
good for Liam Neeson's Force Ghost to be like a
Sure.
therapist to
Yeah.
Obi-Wan
Exactly.
instead of just being like,
Hey, what's up?
"Hey, bud,
You don't need me anymore. You finished the entire adventure. I'm here. Gratuitous cameo.
I gotta go back. I gotta go shoot Dairy Girls."
Yeah, that was something. Yeah, Obi-Wan was not good.
All right, Star Wars animation.
Oh, there is like a super weak spot.
Don't say it.
The best Star Wars animation I've seen. There's like a YouTube TIE Fighter Japanimation thing that is spectacular, right? You have a TIE Interceptor, a bomber, and a regular TIE Fighter wing attacking rebel bases. It is the
This
greatest.
is made by
5-6 minutes.
I think
ever.
that's a fan video,
Luke.
right?
This
Yeah.
is a fan-made film.
I think so.
This explains so much to me.
I
now.
thought your favorite Star Wars was the Darth Vader versus Batman YouTube show.
Do you remember that?
This is
I remember I was pissed when Batman dies. I was like, "What the hell? No!"
Yeah, that's interesting too.
I was so mad.
No,
Back
but
when
I-
YouTube was good.
Yeah. I missed the train on the Clone Wars and the Dave Filoni
Yeah,
stuff.
I can't believe
You ever
it.
watch any? You never watched any of it?
No, my boys are really into it. They
Yeah,
go
because
through the whole
I was
thing,
thinking,
and
I thought
just-
your sons watched it.
I
And
just
you just don't sit down with them.
No, not like that.
You just
Like-
make fun of them while they're watching it. So you're like watching it, you're
I'm
like,
like, oh,
that's not Star
boring.
Wars. Oh, when's Luke coming out to ruin the
Trash.
show?
It's on, guys.
Anakin,
There you
Too
go.
many lightsabers.
Anakin, oh my god, is he gonna cry now?
Oh, the Jedi, boring.
Why don't you kids do something good with your life and just like race pods or something, idiots?
You like pod racing?
Do I like pod racing?
Mhm.
No, I don't like pod racing.
All right.
Just a straight no.
There's hope.
Yeah, no.
I did like that video game.
I think it could be a good
I
idea,
get
man.
Why it's there? You
Yeah.
know what I mean. You want to have the kid in there. It's a very kiddie thing. Like I said, the original Star Wars.
I
to
was a
me-
kid. I was a kid. I didn't like
The
it.
original Star Wars. To
I
me
was
is
a
like,
kid, and I was like,
it was
okay.
released and it was like for general audiences, and like even parents liked it, the kids liked it, so it was a win-win, and it stuck around theaters for so long because of that. Once you get to Return, then you get that Ewok stuff, and it gets really kiddie towards the end there. I don't know if Lucas was trying to get like a whole new audience involved, which it may have worked, right? But when you get into the Phantom Menace,
I don't think.
you get into that little world again where he's making the movie now not for a general audience.
He's making it
He's
for
making-
his kids.
He's making it for kids, right? And that's why the Phantom Menace is like that. And then it gets on a little bit more serious as those kids kind of grow up, and that's why it's just not for me. But my kids like totally love that,
Yeah.
that whole universe, and then they fell into the Dave Filoni stuff. But
So
they-
is that why you haven't seen?
What?
They fell into
They
the
fell-
trap of
yeah.
Dave Filoni.
They fell for his wiles. Is that why you haven't watched it? Because it's tied to the prequel?
No,
Or are you just not into animation?
No, I like animation.
Oh, yeah, you
I'll
watched
watch
X-Men
stuff with the
97,
boys. Yeah,
you watched-
we watched
yeah.
that. Nowadays, I'm just busy with work and other things, and then
It is a lot.
it's
It is
very-
a commitment.
Yeah.
It is a
I
commitment.
missed the boat on it at first, but my kids at school would just constantly be like, no Clone Wars, no Clone Wars. I was like, I'm going to give this a shot. And I kind of muddled through season one.
Yeah, because it's the weakest one.
Yeah, to be honest, it's not that great. But towards the end, it's like, oh, okay. And then 2 on, it's great. It's like it's just a steep incline. Yeah, a steep incline from that point on. Every season's better than the next, and I think it validates the prequels, to which that show has made me be like, okay. I used to think that stuff doesn't count. I don't even care about it. I only care about the original trilogy. And I was like, yeah, I don't like it, but like it's all canon. Like it's I accept the mythos.
It makes
of
it better. And I
Yeah.
think if you can do that,
It's great.
I think that's the thing I love most about Dave Filoni, more than like the new stuff that he's doing. I think that his ability to fix the cracks,
Yeah.
fix the broken things that are from the past, I think it's his greatest strength.
Darth Maul is sick in it. Like when that's how they got me. When they're
Maul's
like Darth
super
Maul
cool,
comes
bro.
back and he like
Savage.
becomes a criminal like leader, and you get to see that underworld that we never get to see. It's on that show.
We never got that in Solo, like after that Solo. end credit.
Yeah, like something after Solo. Yeah,
Rip.
but yeah, that stuff's great. So that's not bad. Although what is bad is that Clone Wars movie that launched that series. That movie's really bad.
Really?
Yeah.
Because
You've never seen it?
no,
I went to the theater to go watch it.
Yeah, that movie sucked.
Which is why I never saw the show, because I went to the theater to watch the movie, and it was so bad that I was like, I'm never gonna watch the show.
I watched it on Cartoon
this was
Network.
Dave Filoni did the movie. Or
It was
somebody else?
Lucas with
Lucas did the
Filoni
movie.
under him.
Okay.
Yeah, and then like
How did it get better then? I mean, did it- did
'Cause
it do,
Filoni
a
took
lessons
over.
Learned and
yeah, so it's
Lucas heads out.
yeah, so it was like
Okay.
Lucas has Filoni under his wing, and he's like, watch this movie that I'm gonna make, and then everybody's like, this movie sucks.
Everyone's like,
And then Lucas is like, oh, I'm kind of just gonna oversee the story while you work on the show.
You guys don't know true genius.
And then Filoni knows, because the thing is, Filoni knows the weaknesses in the prequels and in Lucas storytelling, because what he does is try to validate them and kind of explain them and give them context so that it makes more sense, and he does a really good job of it.
All right, rapid fire. Ahsoka.
Sucks.
Is it bad that we paused? If we
It's
didn't know how to
not
respond?
as good as I thought it was when I first saw it.
Agreed. Like, okay, if you watched Star Wars Rebels and the Clone Wars, the concept of it is great. I feel like if you didn't, what the hell is the show? Like,
It's Rebels season 5.
yeah, pretty much.
It's-
It's a live action sequel to Star Wars
It's Rebels season 5.
which is actually an even better show than Clone Wars.
The Rebels.
Yeah, it also starts off like rough and kiddie, but then it gets super
Oh no,
good.
because I was all aboard because he was trying to get me to watch Rebels, and I'm like, bro, the lightsabers are so thin. I'm not watching that crap.
For me, it was Vader's helmet.
They were
That it looks like the
toothpicks. I didn't-
1980s toy.
I didn't like the animation, and then I watched season 1, and I'm like, All right. And then I got to 2. I didn't stop, man. And then I was like, week to week, I was watching season 4.
Actually, the designs for some of those characters are based on like the old Kenner toys.
Okay.
So like when Yoda shows up, I'm like, why does he look like this? And
You'll hate it though. It's
Yeah.
it's a lot of Jedi.
They have no A wings in it, no B wings.
They do have a lot
They
of
do.
ships.
It's the big. It's
Yeah.
like the beginning of the
Wedges
rebellion.
Wedges on it.
They get the ships. Actually,
Yeah.
you might like it.
Yeah.
The good might outweigh
Yeah.
the bad in the,
Yeah.
for
it
you.
might be a mixed bag, but it might weigh heavily. I like Rebels a lot.
It's how they get all of those things. It's how they start to build
The
to
army,
get ready
the
for
rebel
the
army.
Correct.
original trilogy.
Yeah, it's and Ahsoka was a sequel to that, but this lost in translation somewhat. I also think this is what I hate about shows. I hate when the show you go through the whole season and you're waiting for like the next show. I feel like the ending of Ahsoka was like, what the heck was the show about? Like to set up the next series, and I don't even know when I'm gonna get that. You know,
I feel like they're just. It's. I feel like
Mando
it was towards
season
the
1 had
movies.
closure. Mando season 1 had closure. Mando season 2 had closure. Mando season 3 had closure. You know more's coming, but I have still more questions at the end of Ahsoka. Than I was like, what did I even learn?
I enjoyed seeing the characters from Rebels in live action. Some of the story. I'm not crazy about Rosario Dawson.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of her.
It was cool to see Hayden Christensen back and the flashbacks and the Clone Wars flashbacks.
Yeah, that was
I
cool.
thought
That's probably the coolest stuff.
Yeah, I thought that was awesome. And then
Wait, I like
I thought
Thrawn. Thrawn.
Thrawn and Bail Skull, whatever, Balin Skull.
Balin Skull was a cool new character.
I thought he was cool. Rip.
Okay, so Thrawn. You know Thrawn from the books. Have you read the books?
Bro.
The
Bro,
the old-
Timothy Zahn books.
Yeah, the
Of
Timothy
course.
Zahn books.
Bro,
Okay,
listen
the
to
old
the-
and the new.
Not the new one.
Bro,
Okay,
listen
the
to
new ones are really
ones.
good,
Bro,
man.
Listen to the new ones.
Yeah.
And I say
Yeah.
listen to them because they are full on productions
Yeah,
with music, sound effects.
excellent. A full voice cast, not
Bro,
just one
Thrawn's
narrator.
voice. I was like, bro, get this guy to do the movies.
Yeah. So what happened was, Thrawn, epic character in the extended universe.
Yeah.
He's finally adapted in Rebels.
Okay.
He's like the main villain from like season 2 forward, and like he's excellent there. Then they get that actor to play him in Ahsoka, and we were excited because we were like, that's the right move. He doesn't look like what we would expect
He's
him.
just a little on the bigger
He's a
side.
little
I
round.
probably would have gone because Thrawn is like this like prime like fighting physical specimen of a
Yeah.
character,
And he's an older actor.
and he's just a little
Yeah,
bigger.
He might have been better as a voice actor. Also, I felt like
I think he can look like him. I think if he was como
I have this uncanny valley with some of the aliens. And maybe it was on that show too, especially because I felt the same way about Hera. It feels like people colored and not like green and blue.
yeah, I can see
It
that.
doesn't. It doesn't feel organic like an alien species. Like I can't unsee the fact that it's just a person.
But even
painted.
then, I feel like they were.
Like, I don't get that with Gamora, for example.
No, but like in Return of
But-
the Jedi, I was just like, the one that gets eaten.
Yeah,
I don't know what they.
the one where you see her nip.
What?
I don't
Twi'lek
remember.
lady?
I don't remember.
Oh
the
yeah,
Twilight.
yeah. Now
I don't remember.
Yeah,
that.
I think
You
in
changed Star Wars for me now. Wow.
Deep
Now it
diving,
I didn't mean to.
pausing the video there.
No. It's obvious on the Blu-ray. Like now it's in 4K. Okay, and I didn't.
All right, Ahsoka mixed bag and sucks. Acolyte.
No,
Don't watch it. Don't
actually,
ever.
Actually, Acolyte's the worst thing I've ever seen.
Okay.
Acolyte's worse than the holiday special.
Wow.
Don't do it to yourself. Actually, do it.
Yeah, do it. Watch it.
When you like, when you do something wrong and want to punish yourself,
Yeah.
watch it.
Self-flagellate
In
yourself.
Obi-Wan, they had acolytes, right? They had
Inquisitors.
Inquisitors.
Inquisitors,
That's what it was.
yeah.
I hated those people so much. Those people.
I thought they were cool.
specifically
I thought they were cool in
awful.
animation.
They were cool in animation because they
Live
used them
action.
in Rebels. So we're like, oh, they're gonna bring them to the. You know what? This is a running theme.
She was one of the worst parts. She was one of the worst. That Inquisitor and Obi-Wan was one of the worst parts of the
Yeah,
show.
Totally.
Yeah. We've talked
Totally.
about the theme of Star Wars being for everyone. The downside of that is that it can't always be for you. And sometimes what's beautiful about Star Wars is like the video games can be this way and the comics can be this way and the novels can be this way. But when you try to cross over some of those concepts, it's like it doesn't really work in like a movie or a TV series.
Not
Some
all.
of the stuff's too fantastical.
That's also what I got to see in the Mandalorian movie is Zeb and how he's gonna look and how it's gonna look because he looked interesting.
yeah,
in
he
Mando season
Yeah.
3.
3, yeah.
Is that what that was in?
Which guy was Zeb again?
Zeb is the purple, furry, tall, big one.
That he meets at the bar for a brief.
Oh, the rebel
Yeah,
alien, right?
exactly.
The
That-
British guy. Yeah.
Sure,
Yeah.
Well, he does the same voice for Alfred, I think, in one of the Batman cartoons, right?
sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's All right, which one?
Is it not Bloom?
The Batman. It was a CGI.
Who plays that?
Orlando Bloom?
Steve Bloom.
I don't think so, man. He's British too, but I don't. He's
Or is it in Ahsoka that he's in?
who?
Zeb. Or is it
Zeb?
Mando?
No, it's Amanda.
It's in Mando. I
It's in-
remember him because my kids were like, "Oh, it's the guy from Rebels."
and you were like,
And you're like,
"Go outside,
Boring.
kids."
touch grass. Boring.
You gotta stop bullying your kids, Hawkeye.
So I need to watch Andor season 2.
I mean, you gotta watch the whole show. You
I
gotta
forgot
watch-
Lizzo
Yeah,
was in
you
the
gotta
season.
watch season 1 in order to
Lizzo
understand.
is in the movie.
You remember? Oh,
That's
now
what
I
it
remember
is.
Jack Black now.
I told you she was a singer.
Bro, what in the Wizard of Oz, bro?
All right, so holiday special.
Lizzo.
Acolytes. Lizzo. We've reached the peak of the word.
Also, I love how in the cast sheet, Grogu is just Grogu.
Yeah,
Like, it just says Grogu.
he plays himself.
Yeah, but not like Grogu as Grogu.
It's just Grogu. Okay. No, the Acolyte is worse than Lizzo.
Jeez.
Just for the record, Lizzo was better.
Where's Zeb?
I stand for Lizzo. She played that one flute from the historical museum or something. I don't know. Look it up.
I forgot about that episode. I watched that thing at like 4 a.m. when I was working from home.
Yeah, he would wake up first thing in the morning and just watch The Mandalorian as soon as it dropped.
Oh, okay, that's
Yeah.
cool.
So it's like it was like at
Now when that episode came out, I'm like, crap. I should have stayed asleep.
All right, so we're rounding out. Is there anything else?
The Acolyte garbage. But what was a Skeleton Crew? Did you watch that?
No.
That one was good. I think
I
you
liked
enjoyed
it.
that.
Yeah.
It's like Goonies.
Yeah, did you like the
Star
Goonies
Wars.
growing up?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, so your kids might like it because it's basically the Goonies in space. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll check it out then. They may have seen it and just didn't tell their dad. Who makes
Oh.
fun of them all the time.
That one was good.
Oh, yeah.
And they have a character.
Oh, quick, quick, quick. Dad's not here. Put on the Skeleton Crew.
They have a character. It's just Socrates walk. Fee, fi, fo, fum. You watch boring stuff, my son.
Why are you watching that? Han's not in it.
Yeah.
Where's Han?
Chewie? Where's Lando? Guys, come on. They watch the real stuff.
Where's Wedge, man?
Let's get back to Bespin, dudes. Come on.
I need Biggs Darklighter now.
Yeah, you do. Like he has like what, 2 minutes?
Yeah,
Tops.
he's in Rebels.
No way.
Yeah.
Does he have his mustache?
Yeah.
That's awesome. Is he in an X-wing?
Yeah. Well, so Ezra, the main character, goes into Imperial Academy,
Mm-hmm.
and he's training there because the whole story that they train in the Imperial Academy just so they can defect, they can learn they have access to all the technology and they learn how to be pilots, and then they defect immediately. So it's like that, like he's escaping, and
It's not when like, okay, here's your TIE fighter, has no shield. Good luck. They're like, I'm gonna go be a rebel with shields.
that's a good point.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no thanks.
That's why they're defecting.
Sure.
Because the rebels care enough to pay for the shields. Yeah. All right, so is that about rounding it out? Should we look at some hopeful things real quick?
Starfighter sounds cool, right up your alley.
So this is
No Jedi?
This is not, or this is an actual Star Wars movie, or is it a
Yeah.
remake of the Starfighter movie?
No,
It's a Star Wars
It's an
movie.
original movie with just the title
With
Starfighter.
Ryan Gosling.
Yeah.
And the guy.
It's not the last Starfighter.
It's not
the
the last
70s movie.
Starfighter.
No,
It's not. Is it? Because it's not Kaczynski. Who is it?
John Krasinski,
No, Joe Kaczynski, the guy that made F1. Joseph Krasinski.
Joe Quesada.
Who's making that movie?
But it has nothing to do with Star Wars, or
Yeah, it's
no,
a
it's
Star
a
Wars
Star Wars
movie.
movie. It's
Oh,
Star
it
Wars
is a
movie.
Star
It's
Wars
Yeah.
after everything.
And it's after
It's after
even
Rise.
Mando.
It's after Rise.
Oh, Rise is after Mando. Duh. So it's after Rise. Okay, and it's with Ryan Gosling.
Yeah.
Are you a fan of Ryan Gosling? Of his work, at least.
I never saw Barbie. I liked he was not in Driver. He was in
He was in
another-
Drive. He was in
He
Drive.
was in Drive. That was all right, I guess.
Oh,
And
I actually
cut the
love that
episode.
movie.
End the episode.
Yeah. I actually just read
Let's,
that.
let's get.
I actually just read that book.
Let's get Sock to X on Champion Free Speech.
And then he was great in I forget what other movies, man. But I like him generally.
Okay.
Did you watch the new one? The Stuntman one?
No,
Fall Guy.
Fall Guy.
Oh, that's a
That
fun
didn't see
movie.
that.
Yeah, he's good in that.
Yeah, I'm sure he is. How about the Gangster Squad? Right, he was in that.
He was in
I've
Gangster
never
Squad.
seen that movie in my
He
life.
was in
Either.
Gangster
Me
Squad.
neither.
Interesting.
Oh, that's pretty cool. But they have him in the orange jumpsuit.
That
the
was a
traditional one?
fan-made
Oh, that was
picture.
fan-made.
Yeah. Okay.
Gotcha.
That's fake news, man. You got to go on Twitter. That's where the real. That's where the real sources are.
That's
Yeah,
where
I gotta
they
get the conspiracy
they have all
apparently.
the shots before Disney took him down.
Yeah.
Took him off the air.
Okay, so I guess that's Starfighter. That's our only hope. That and Mando and Grogu. I think that's the only things they're making. So it feels like they realize that,
Man, with so much potential out there, Disney, there's like a 9 movie somewhere where you can get him for 2 hours, how he became Lando's co-pilot on that Death Star run. Make that, bro. That is
okay,
so
you're
cool.
actually joking, but I would watch like.
Of course I would watch
Oh,
that.
okay, you're not joking.
No, that would be
okay,
totally
but
awesome.
like
a movie about Nine Numb being the main character.
yeah, no,
no.
it's got to be Nine.
Yeah, you can
and
have Lobot in there. Make a whole real
No,
Lando
no,
movie.
no.
Give me a Lando movie. This is why I
When
also
were we
like
supposed to get that?
Solo.
yeah, we were supposed to.
But-
Oh no,
'cause
they're
they
still
also
making
had
that.
Lando
Is it
in
a
there,
movie
man.
or a
It's
show?
it's a movie now. It was gonna be a show, and it's a
Lando
movie.
I think a movie's probably
is
better.
like
Yeah.
uncharted territory. It's fantastic. He can do
The guy that played
No,
the guy
basically-
that played Lando
No,
in
but-
Solo is they're making a movie with him.
Yeah, he's great.
Daniel Glover.
Donald Glover, no
Donald
relation.
Glover.
Yeah,
he is great.
Dong Lover.
Always
But
working.
young
No
Lando, and give him capes. They did that just right. He had like all the suaveness of the original Billy D. Williams. I loved Lando in Han. That's why I liked Han so much. At Han, at Lando, at Chewbacca.
Oh,
Those
yeah,
three
that-
characters right
this
there.
is the
You
recurring theme.
You will not go wrong if you have those three
That's
characters.
That's his big three. Screw Luke and Leia. They can die.
Seriously. I could care less about their adventures or their side quests. Go
All right.
run, be a senator in the Old Republic or New Republic, whatever it is. Give me smuggling. Give me the Kessel Run. Give me Mos Eisley, the real Mos Eisley, right? Not the moisture farmer nonsense that's happening in the background. Give me a real Mos Eisley with Han Solo taking smuggling runs. Give me Lando gambling like a madman and winning an entire Bespin spaceport, whatever mining colony,
Oh,
whatever
they-
the heck you want. Yeah, they
Oh, you want Lando to? I mean, you want Han and Lando to go to that planet in Last Jedi, the casino planet?
I would love a Casino Planet, maybe not that one, but those two guys
That'd
in
be
Casino
cool.
Planet would be fantastic.
I actually have a question about something you mentioned. What the heck is moisture farming? What are they doing on these farms?
You're taking moisture from the very dry atmosphere and then selling it.
You wanna know where that's from?
hydration.
Oh.
What?
Dune.
Oh, that is from Dune.
Sure.
But it makes more sense in Dune because there's no water in Dune.
Well, there's no water in Tatooine.
I guess.
Yeah, Tatooine sucks.
It just is
Tatooine
Dune.
is Arrakis.
Yeah, it just is the planet Dune. Okay.
Why you think they're so obsessed with sand planets?
So they're extracting it from the atmosphere and selling it like bottled water, like they're
Yeah.
bottled
Yeah.
water salesmen. Okay.
Yeah.
That's weird.
They sell it to the Jawas that come in their super awesome Jawa crawler, sand crawler. Give me a movie about the Jawas traversing Tatooine.
I think
I'd
that's
rather
where- I
see
think that's
that.
where we
Oh,
end it.
I'd rather see that than the Boba Fett stuff that we got. I'd
right.
rather see 20 Jawas going and selling droids
I'm
to
waiting for
random
the cross the line
people on Mos Eisley. What's the line?
where you say you'd rather watch that over Luke
Over-
Skywalker.
100%. 100%.
Well,
Yeah.
I guess you should be relieved. I don't think we're going to be getting Luke Skywalker anytime soon. So,
Because he sucks.
so I guess there is a
You're not
new
getting a
hope.
Luke Skywalker movie anytime soon for sure.
All right.
Because they tried it with Ray and the public wasn't there because it is boring.
All right. So,
But
That's
you-
crazy
but
because
you-
we're getting a Ray movie.
You're getting really you're getting a
oh
Ray
yeah.
movie?
Yeah.
No way.
Pucker up, baby.
Wow.
Boring is here to stay.
It is. I guess
Oh.
so. I'll enjoy the Mando hopefully then because that's the real Star Wars.
And on that note, whatever Star Wars is to you, we hope that you find a little corner of the galaxy to enjoy. Till next time, we'll be here to suffer alongside you.
Boring.
They're really making a Ray movie?
Yeah, they're really making it right more.